Call your sponsor.
Call you sponsor.
Call you
sponsor.
Call your
sponsor. Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your
sponsor. And this thing of showing up is it's like, oh, like in order for me to show up, the first practice in that book is showing up for myself. And it goes through all these exercises. What colors? What temperature? What blah, blah, blah. What types of food? It has all these lists and lists and lists and lists. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm working with a few newcomers, and like what I'm seeing and what we're talking about lately is the grieving process of losing the drink and the drug, right? Like those were my besties, and that was the solution. That was the feelings fix. And then now not having that, and then grieving the person I thought I knew.
Wow.
Which was, the dynamic in friendships, the dynamic with booze, the dynamic without booze. And it's like literally like, who the F am I,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so good. And it's coming full circle. I just had an aha, amazing experience. So I talk a lot about when I first came in at around 4 months. I think it was 3 weeks actually. I remember bawling my eyes out because I didn't know who I was. Wasn't crying because I was an alcoholic. I'd been saying I was an alcoholic in bars for 2 years and make it a double, I was crying because I had been 23 years with myself and didn't know what I like to eat, what I like to wear, who I like to be friends with. I didn't know myself, and that made me sadder than thinking I had an alcohol problem. And here we are all these years later, and I'm telling you about going and I like this fabric and I like this to eat and I do this. And it's like, I'm just putting it together. And the internal healing to to know me is to love me.
So beautiful. And I think for me it's like I know things and still stay open, right? It's like that, it's the balance, right? How can I still be in recovery and not think I know everything, right? How can I have my...
Why would I need to do that, Sam?
Why would you not need to know everything? Exactly.
Think that I don't know everything.
No, well, I'm speaking for me, not for you. You know everything, period. You just keep going on your rose petal lined path that's perfectly manicured, and we'll just wait for Betsy Sue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Not for you. This is just for me. Everyone else, yes, no, don't listen to me. But it's just, and then that I continually stay open and then learn, and how do I continuously stay curious? I think I shared on a recent episode that I picked up another program, or I'm exploring, and I'm really enjoying just being a newcomer. And just I don't know, I get to raise my hand when they call it newcomers. I love it. I'm like, wow, this is exciting, I'm one with the acknowledgement and the being seen as new, and it's, I don't have the whole story around it, so yeah.
You're being open to being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And
vulnerable. Yeah.
Right. And that's a great example of POV. Your perspective is a miracle, because you could easily be in that situation and be going, oh, I can't believe, I don't know what this is all about. But you're looking at this vulnerability and this openness and this curiosity is a really cool, fun thing. And that exemplifies what we all are able to do in any situation.
Yeah. I actually think, and I don't like to say the only thing I do yearly is a word of the year, but I really do think that 2024 for me is a year of significant growth and shifts, and just this totally becoming into literally my best self, in a whole different way than I would have defined in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, 2024 for me is becoming my own best friend. And I was invited to a vision board workshop this last Tuesday. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to that. I sign up for it. And then all of a sudden Tuesday night comes and I'm like, oh, I have so much work and da-da. But I was like, no, I'm going. I'm an hour late. But I'm going, and I go, and there were like 16 women. I didn't know one single person. I went and got my board. I got my magazines. I sat down. People were talking. I jumped in conversations. Some girl said something about her daughter being diagnosed with scoliosis. I'm like, oh, I have that. Shared my experience. Those are the kinds of things I would have taken to my grave, not tell us table full of 16 women I didn't know as I'm doing a vision board. And then I noticed that the dialogue wasn't there in my head going, what did they think of that statement I just said? And did that person like that wasn't there. I was just doing my vision board and I was just being me. And I walked out with this great vision board and this girl that like wants me to, Instagram me and like we're gonna message and just I walked out being me and it was so exciting. It was so cool. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is definitely in 2024.
That vibe is so inspirational. Thank you for sharing that. What I'm really present to when you were sharing is that the noise in the head, the disease, you were present, period. The stories, the narratives, whatever, past harms, traumas, all that shit you used to schlep around. I schlepped, when whatever, in the zone, aligns, whatever those things are, that you were able to not judge, not criticize, not whatever it is. You showed up when you showed up, you did your thing, you participated, and there wasn't a background noise.
Yeah.
Peace. It's the promises. Peace, freedom.
Yeah. And I'm going to start crying because I didn't know the solution was loving myself. Like I thought the solution was stopping drinking. And I'm so grateful that I stopped drinking because I would have never gotten here. But it took more. And the solution, it turns out, is to love myself and to love myself wholly and fully. And now I'm just like, I'm brimming with excitement. It's kind of like when you first walk in the rooms and when somebody says, I haven't drank for 20 years. And I was like, they're lying. That's what I thought. I remember one time a therapist said, like, I'm not suffering from the stuff that you talk about. Like, I used to have that, but I don't have it anymore. And I was like, she's lying. I didn't think there was a world without that voice.
Yeah. I'm just envisioning you at this thing, just like doing but what I'm envisioning actually in my brain when you were sharing, and even just when you were just sharing now, is I'm seeing little Missy. I'm seeing you embodied in your child, where you're just you and your glue stick, or however you're fixing these things to the board, or whatever thing you're doing, and whatever magazines and like whatever it is you're drinking. Like I was just like in that moment with like all these 16 women or however many, and you're just and just like in your element.
Yeah. Somewhere along the line, that is so good. I love that you said that, because somewhere along the line, little Misty, who would do garage sales, like we're doing a garage sale this weekend, and take out my mom's disco shoes and do them in there and get all the kids in the neighborhood. It was like very Tom Sawyer. Like I just took charge and would boss people around and, just marched to the beat of my own drum and loved it. I was so happy. And somewhere along the way, it was drilled into me, or I accepted the message that I'm not enough. It's a bad thing to be me. I should tone it down or tone it up or whatever it was. And yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, like that is going to make me cry, because I did not connect that the person that was sitting at that table was that same girl that's like, let's do a garage sale, like just with no fierce scarcity about what everybody's going to think.
Yeah. You were in your being, period. You're like embodied, you know? And part of me wants to like go get roller skates. Like the old school ones.
Yes.
Like in the ones in Three's Company. With little streamers.
Oh my God. I can see it.
That's so funny. Yeah. To know me is to love me. Yes. And I love how it's these two things because it's like, it's the knowing, right? And I think for me, program has helped me discard old ideas. And then also given me the courage to explore, you know, with the love of people around me, you know.
Mhm.
And then to actually have a new definition of love and what that actually looks like. And, you know, I think I've shared several times about this whole split screen reality and fantasy. And I'm like more in tune with the reality of things and not this fantasy. I'm like jiving. I'm like, I want realness. I mean, give me a wrinkle and not like a fully like, you know, filled kind of situation, you know, like I don't want the filter anymore, you know.
That's so great.
Sometimes, not 100% of the time. Sometimes, let's just get clear. I'm not like, you know, most of the time I'm not looking for the filter. I'm looking for the real and raw, where it's like character and there's a different thing that's there, you know? Yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful journey.
I agree. And we are at our final five. And I have a question. When was the last time that you were tapped into your inner child and did something from that place behind your belly button?
So I would say this morning, when I've been really in touch with the energies thing, which I need to bring to us as a topic. I'm still playing around with it, but when I was walking to meet up with some friends in the morning, I just literally was clueless. I was like I was literally like the child that is like, no, stay on your side of the sidewalk. Like, don't go crazy like you're going. Like, walk straight, you know? I was that child that was like, oh, that looks interesting. Oh, what is going on over there? You know, I was like, wait, there's a traffic light. Stop. Like, you know what I mean? I was like too much. I was too much in the child where it was like somebody needed to hold my hand because I wasn't even paying attention to like if there was if I'm crossing and there's a car, what, you know, I went a little too far over, but I was just in that space of like, you say, oh, look at this. How come I never noticed this before? And oh, what plant is this? And oh my God, what is that bug? And oh, what is that smell? And you know what I mean? And just being in that place of innocence and like not jaded, you know? And of course I found dogs coming up to me and just like, you know, so than usual, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm in a different energy state that all these dogs are coming up and kids, you know, like, hey, you know, yeah. So it was this morning, but then the time before that, I couldn't even tell you. So it's apropos that it's like, we're having this conversation. It like legit just happened, but that's something that I totally strive for consciously sometimes, you know, when I'm aware. And then other times it's like what you said, it's like continue to build the love bubble. And then, you know, it comes from that inner root, you know?
Yeah. Wow. That is really cool. I love seeing you with the dogs. I love imagining that and all the kids. It's amazing.
How about you?
For me, it was, well, I told you I painted last night, so that was a little bit of it. But I really do like that you mentioned the dogs and the kids because we did an event where dogs were there this last week. And that has always been something, kids and dogs, that I have always been able to tap in behind my belly button. And like you're saying, I'm not cynical at all in those moments, and really tap into this energy that I can tell they recognize. And it's so exciting. I've been telling, my family and people for ages, like, watch, dogs and kids love me. And they do, because when I get down to their level, which is what I always do, and look in the eyes, we're coming from this place, and there's a different energy than when I'm in my cynical, I know what's going to happen, I'm not curious kind of space.
Dogs and kids, they're closest to where we were where we were when we were first created or coming into this physical plane, right? Like dogs, puppies, but kids,
Yeah, dogs
right?
and
Like
kids. Yeah, you're right. And they
Yeah.
say horses as well, and horses are even more attuned with the energy. And that's why a lot of
Whoa.
people will go do this energy horse work, because a horse can read your energy and they won't come to you until you adjust your energy,
Wow.
which is like some good boundary shit. Maybe we'll do a whole topic on equestrian recovery. Who knows?
Equine. I think it's equine therapy.
I knew that.
Equine?
Just checking you. Good job.
Yeah. Well, I think I remember hearing about some posh California
Malibu. Yeah.
Malibu Beach Barbie rehab. Let's send Ken to rehab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The equine recovery is coming to you soon.
All right. Yes. One of my friends went to a posh boarding school in the hills of Ojai or somewhere, where they give each student coming through a horse, not to own, but to take care of in their freshman year. And then they have like these annual games where it's like homecoming weekend, and they do like some Harry Potter-ass things with these horses. But it's to show them responsibility and to connect with an animal. And I can't help but think there's something also that's having to do with this heart-centered, this boundary, this, with because they're so intelligent on that level,
Right. And the thing I like about it so much now is that hearing that they won't come to you if your energy isn't correct. And it goes back to what we were talking about with the flower and going in the sunshine versus the shade. Like when you're really in your place, like, you won't go to people who are pulling you away from your center.
Yes.
You're like, you can come to me and meet me where I am, but I'm not going away. I'm not abandoning myself anymore,
God, that's so powerful. Sunshine or shade.
All right, well, let's go get it. We have killed it. Y'all are welcome. 5 stars. Tell us you love us. Sam is killing it on the Instagram game, so go follow us at BCY Sponsor right now and give some love, because you're just killing it on the graphics and the audio. Like, woo!
Thanks, everybody. We enjoy doing this, and we appreciate your support.
Yeah, more ways to support us soon. And bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor.
Thanks, Christy. Thanks, Sam. Love you.
Love you too.
Bitch, call your sponsor. Call your sponsor. Call your.
Send us an email with comments, questions, or concerns, bcysponsor@gmail.com.
Don't forget to rate 5 stars.